Brian Powell of I Run Far here with Ryan Sands before the 2013 Leadville 100. Ryan, you were here in 2011.
Yeah.
You had the win. You ran one of the fastest times ever here. It's a pretty good accomplishment. What brings you back?
Obviously, I was supposed to go and run Western States earlier this year, and unfortunately had a bit of an injury. So after that, I thought kind of second best option was to come back to Leadville. I had such an awesome time here in 2011, and I just really enjoy the whole vibe and atmosphere of the race. So super excited to be back here.
Nice. So you think your fitness has you been able to carry it over from your Western States training?
Yeah, for sure. Obviously had a bit of a break with the injury, which I'm hoping has done me good. Like I think this time of the year, probably a lot of runners are feeling a bit tired, and they've done quite a few races where I haven't actually had too many races. So I'm feeling pretty fresh and really motivated and determined, and hoping to have a good one on Saturday. But I suppose it's all about putting it together on race day. You can be in the best shape of your life, but it's all about putting it together on the day.
You did run Trans Gran Canaria. Is that your only race on the year?
Basically, yes.
Yeah.
So,
and you won that.
Yes.
How'd that go for you? Feel pretty good?
Yeah, I was feeling really good. My training throughout the year has gone according to plan, and I felt really good. So actually lined up in Australia and had to pull out the North Face 100 in Australia to pull out with stomach issues. So that was pretty frustrating because I felt I was in really good shape, and then obviously the setback with Western States. So I feel like my training's gone really well this year. I've just actually got to put it together now in a race.
So what did happen with your injury? Is it an ankle injury, correct?
Yeah, ankle injury. Just actually doing one of my final runs before flying or heading over to the US. Just stupid, it was a bit wet on a rock, and I just went over slightly in a rock and then overcorrected. So I actually did both ligaments. I had a partial tear in them, but it's actually the first time I've actually fully rested my ankle for a good 3 or 4 weeks. So it actually feels really strong now. So I suppose everything happens for a reason. Hopefully come back stronger.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. You haven't really raced much this year. Scott Jurek hasn't raced at all.
No.
Mike Eish has run in some races, but from what I understand, he's not really competed in them. They were sort of tune-up runs.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a lot of fresh bodies on the line this year.
No, it should be a really interesting race. I got to run with Scott a few weeks ago. And, he looks pretty psyched. He's definitely not yet to come second, so I'm sure he's going to be up there.
His fitness is pretty good?
He's looking like he's pretty sharp, and he's definitely been putting in the miles, so I've no doubt he'll be up there.
Nice. Obviously, this course has a very hallowed record with Matt Carpenter running sub 16 here, and
that's pretty phenomenal.
You were 16:45-ish when you last ran it. Is a time like that in the back of your mind, or are you really focused on the man versus man here on the day?
Yeah, I think going into the race, I'll probably focus more on running the course than actually running against man on man. But obviously I think that's an incredible time. It would be pretty special to beat that, but I think that's really very far at the back of my mind. You got to have a pretty special day out here to be able to match that time. So I won't write it off, but for me now it's just trying to get to that finish line as quick as possible, as quick as I can. I haven't got too many time goals in my mind. It's just kind of take it as it comes on the day.
Gotcha. Yeah, you were just explaining when you had a lead going in the last 25 miles here. Yes. 2 years ago, you had a nice lead. You started feeling not so good, and you just were able to correct and ease off, right?
Yeah, I was able to ease off. Yeah, I was pretty lucky that I had a bit of a lead. I don't know how much harder I could have pushed. It was obviously my first 100 miler, so my quads were pretty shot. I think actually some of the training I did up here before the race, I might have done too many high intensity sessions, and I think I actually might have battled to recover, because I remember about 30 miles into the race my legs were already quite sore. So I was a little bit worried, so I had to dig pretty deep that day. I definitely kind of trashed my legs a bit, so I did slow down a lot towards the end, but luckily I had a lead. But I definitely think this year in order to bag the win, you'll definitely have whoever's up front will have to be running a bit quicker than what I did in 2011.
Yeah. What have you changed with your training? You said it was your first time your quads were shot. What have you done differently for this year's race?
This year, I've obviously got here 3 weeks or so ahead of time to acclimatise to the altitude. Obviously coming from sea levels been quite difficult, but I haven't done too many high intensity sessions. It's been more about just trying to adapt and acclimatise and just make sure I don't take too much out of my legs and my body. I think I'll save that for Saturday and try and put in a a big performer. So probably the main thing is just backed off a bit on the high intensity. But I suppose at this height or this altitude, you can't do too many like quality sessions.
Yeah, it takes a while to recover.
Yeah, for sure. And also coming from sea level, I think a couple of my first runs, 1 or 2 runs, I actually had to take a bit of a power nap on the side of the trail and just lie on my back to recover. Yeah, it was. I think that the run I did with Scott, we ran our power lines, and yeah, I was pretty slow. Hopefully I can go a bit quicker on race day than what I went up there with him.
Yeah. One interesting thing about this course is that there's some paved road, there's a bunch of dirt road, there's some single track, some steep downhill.
Yeah.
You've run this course before. What shoes are you gonna throw on for Saturday?
Yeah, I'll be running in Salomon, the S Labs. Yeah, I think with my feet, I've got really wide feet, so I use custom shoes. So I'll be using those. Be using like like fairly non-aggressive grip and
the standard.
Yeah, just the standard ones. Yeah. So yeah, I'll use those, and I think they work pretty well.
So are you in the Sense? Sense or regular?
No. So the regular S Lab. Yeah.
Yep.
The S Lab 6. So yeah, and I'll probably change shoes at Twin Lakes on the return, just after crossing the river. I did that last time I was here, and that seemed to work pretty well. So I'll probably do it this year.
It's nice to have that fresh pair of shoes.
Yeah, definitely. No, for sure. And also, I don't know, your feet seem to feel a lot better. Even your legs, it just seems to kind of transfer up.
There's a lot of mental.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Half the race is mental.
Totally. Well, best of luck out there and have fun on Saturday.
Thanks very much. Yeah. Thanks for all the support.
Yeah. And one quick bonus question for you, Ryan. This past weekend, your girlfriend, Vanessa, she just finished the Leadville 100 ride, right?
Yeah.
How'd that go?
Yeah, she did really well. Yeah, it's quite nerve-wracking being kind of roles reverse, having to crew, like trying to rush to the aid stations and make sure I don't mess anything up, because obviously she's going to be crewing for me the week after, and then also just kind of waiting for it at aid stations. You never kind of know how the race is going, but yeah, she really enjoyed it, and yeah, the mountain bike looks like an epic race. I think it's one of the races I'd love to do one day.
Nice.
Yeah, maybe when I get a bit more time, when I get a bit older, and I'll spend a bit more time on the bike.
You can do the solo bike, or you can do the Leadman. Spend your summer up in Leadville.
Yeah, it has crossed my mind. Yeah, maybe one day when I'm big.
Nice.